The moment I found out, everything changed. I was standing in my bedroom, my heart racing like a jackrabbit, as I stared at the burner phone in his sock drawer. I had been searching for answers for weeks, ever since I would started noticing all those little things that did not add up. The way he'd whisper on the phone in another room, the way he'd quickly change the subject when I asked him about his business trips. At first, I thought I was just being paranoid. We'd been together for 2 years, and I thought I knew him. I thought we had something real. But as I looked at that phone, I felt a cold dread creeping up my spine. What was he hiding? I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself I was just being crazy. But I could not ignore it. I had to know what was going on. I started to feel like I was walking on eggshells, always on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop. I remembered all the times my mom had warned me about him. "He's too good to be true," she'd say. But I did not listen. I thought she was just being overprotective. And my sister? She'd always been a bit skeptical of him too, but I would just dismiss it as jealousy. I recalled the day I met Raj like it was yesterday. We were at a charity gala in Dallas, and he was charming, handsome, and attentive. He swept me off my feet, and I thought I would found my soulmate. We got engaged 6 months later, and I was on cloud 9. I thought I was the luckiest woman alive. But looking back, I can see the red flags I ignored. The way he'd compare me to other women, making me feel like I was not good enough. The way he'd get defensive when I asked him about his business trips. The way he'd become emotionally distant, always busy or stressed. I thought I was the problem. I thought I was just being insecure. But now I realize I was just being gaslighted. As I stood there staring at that phone, I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. I knew I had to confront him. I took a deep breath and walked into the living room, where he was sitting on the couch, scrolling through his phone. "Hey, what's up?" he asked, looking up at me with that charming smile. I sat down next to him, trying to keep my cool. "I need to ask you something," I said, my voice shaking slightly. "What's up?" he repeated, his eyes narrowing slightly. I took another deep breath. "I found this phone in your sock drawer," I said, pulling it out of my pocket. "Can you tell me what it is?" He froze, his eyes darting to the phone, and then back to me. "Oh, it's just, a work phone," he stammered. I raised an eyebrow. "A work phone? At 3 in the morning?" He sighed, putting down his phone. "Look, can we talk about this later? I am stressed, okay?" But I was not having it. I felt a surge of anger and betrayal. "No, we need to talk about it now," I said, my voice firm. He looked at me, a hint of panic in his eyes. "What's going on, baby?" I took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. "I overheard you on the phone the other day," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "You called her baby. Who is she?" The room fell silent. Raj's face went white, and he looked like he'd been punched in the gut. I knew in that moment that I had found out the truth. But I had no idea just how deep it went. "What are you talking about?" he asked, trying to play it cool. But I was not buying it. I pulled out the phone and started scrolling through the messages. "Don't lie to me, Raj," I said, my voice cold. "I know what's going on. I know you've been seeing prostitutes on your business trips." The room fell silent again, and I could feel the weight of his lies crushing me. I thought I was going to collapse. But then, something inside me snapped. I felt a surge of strength and determination. I was done being lied to. I was done being cheated on. I was done being treated like I was not good enough. "How long have you been doing this?" I asked, my voice firm. He looked at me, a mixture of guilt and shame on his face. 7 years, he whispered. 7 years. 7 years of my life, wasted on a man who did not even love me. I felt like I would been punched in the gut, but I refused to fall. I stood up, my heart pounding in my chest. "Get out," I said, my voice cold. "Get out of my house, and get out of my life." He looked at me, shocked, but I just turned and walked away. I knew I had a long road ahead of me, but I was ready. I was ready to heal, to recover, and to find myself again. As I walked out of the room, I felt a sense of freedom that I would never felt before. I was finally free from the toxic relationship that had been suffocating me, and I knew that I would never go back. My sister let me move in with her, and I started therapy to deal with the aftermath of the betrayal. It was not easy, but I was determined to heal. I was determined to find myself again. And as I looked in the mirror, I saw a woman who was strong, resilient, and beautiful. I saw a woman who had been through hell and back, but was still standing. I smiled, feeling a sense of hope and empowerment that I would never felt before. I knew that I would be okay. I knew that I would rise from the ashes, stronger and more beautiful than ever.